Thank you for joining me in Six-Figure Mindset. Today is System.io plus WordPress, putting them together. And this apparently is one of the hardest parts that people normally never explains properly when you look. We're going to learn so much today. And these are the stuff that people who are actually practicing internet marketing, affiliate marketing, the guru business, they do this stuff that you're going to find out from me tonight. My name is Jomar Hilario, and for 20 years, I've been selling on the internet, marketing on the internet. I started formally in 2005, February, and that's definitely 20 years, right? And I did online marketing, promoting a concert, massive concert, in one of the country's biggest indoor venues, around capacity of 15,000 people. And I did online marketing. I hired virtual assistants. Back in the day, that concept did not exist yet. And our internet marketing was inside an internet cafe. No coffee in the cafe, just computers, and that's where you rent internet access. You rent the computer, you also rent the internet connection. In the cafes, they have really fast connections. Bottom line is, I spent 30 days in 2005 promoting for a concert that I really believed in, a Christian rock group to play in our country. And I don't have the definite numbers. We dragged in around 5,000 people. But when I came into that project 30 days before the concert day, that's around March 3, 2005, I don't know if we had like 500 people in. You understand me? And this was the first big concert project of the organization I was helping back then. And it was really tough, but I learned on the spot how to do online marketing. And I was learning using podcasts. Heard of that? 2005, they had podcasts. I was learning through podcasts. We had 2 books, literally, and there was no YouTube. If there was YouTube, it has cat videos. So tonight, we're going to go for Systeme, connecting it to WordPress, and give you the conceptuals of how that works out, because these two represent the 2 biggest pillars of an online business. Any big guru influencer that you know is not dependent on the social platform. They're definitely using these 2 things, okay? And those of you who have 100,000 followers and up in any social platform, you should be waking up in using these 2 systems. This is the example of the app that we're using, but you can use other apps, but I do recommend this because I've been around for 20 years and I know what doesn't work and what works. So let's give you the overview right now. And by the way, what have I been doing for the last 20 years? Essentially being a father, a homeschooling father. Yes. I think the last 6 years, I'm more or less a homeschooling father, like more intensely involved in my children, plural. And yeah, and I figured out that I have not had a job for 17 years. That's it. I got retrenched from one of the biggest consulting companies on the planet. Okay. My position was like 3rd from the top. That's a really high position. My salary was really nice, a few millions a year before taxes. But when I left that company, I never looked back. Okay, I actually went shopping for pants on that day. I remember it was 17 years ago because I passed by the Gap. We have a Gap here in the city, and that Gap was the same Gap I bought my pants on the day that I left the company. All right, so that's a short background of how I started this online internet thingy. I am a member of the generation ABCDEFG HIJKLMNOP. Don't really relate to any generation, especially today. Okay, let's start with the first kind of website you need to have. It's called the Content Vault. Okay, Content Vault. And yeah. And the second kind of website we need to have is a client getting. Jomar, is that the same? No, the technology doesn't fit that you have one place where you do both of this. Plus, it's also dangerous to put them in one place. It's like eggs in a basket. Okay. So Content Vault, what is the Content Vault platform we're using today? We're using WordPress. Okay. There are lots of people who use other systems, especially the new ones. I know them. I know the Squarespaces, the Wixes, and all that stuff. If you have no experience in doing this on a day-to-day basis, please be quiet because you are making a big mistake if you use other systems, because only if you're interested in longevity. Can you type that in? Longevity is being able to last very long in this industry. It's not easy to last if you're using Wix. If Wix kicks you out, because you can never move your website anywhere else. If WordPress kicks you out, the provider, you can move it to another WordPress. There are so many WordPress options out there. So the WordPress Content Vault we're using is portable. That's all I'm going to say with that, okay? That's portable. Now, this is a 6-figure mindset course or lecture. If you don't want portability, you're not using 6 figures, you're using, the 5 figures, 4 figures mindset. We want to be, if you're listening and watching this, are you interested in being considerably wealthy? If you are, then make sure you have part of your goals, immediate goals would be like 100,000 pesos a month. Or at least put this 600,000, 100,000 pesos a month in the past that you have already earned it many times. Is that a good idea? That I earned this many times in the past. All right. So client content vault, WordPress is my recommendation this year. Client getting, the one we're using here is System M. Please do not type this in. Please go to the description wherever you find this and click on my affiliate links so you can support this free series of lessons. When you get System M, the charge is free, but still use my link. When you get WordPress, the charge is not free, but use my link. It's going to be found in the description of this video. I earn later. I don't earn immediately. I earn later if you use my links for these ones. Okay. And in case this is a different year, I might not be suggesting this. So make sure you check the links for updated recommendations. But bottom line, you need to have both. So the content vault contains all the content that you have, that you possess. Yes. If you get kicked out of other platforms, you can still tell people, hey, go to jomar.club. That's where you can see everything I make. That's where you have links to your video, direct uploads to your video, all the essays you write, all the essays or blog posts that your assistant writes. It's all there. Plus, the value of a content vault is in 2 ways, SEO and generative engine optimization. That's when you tell the AI, hey, I'm so good. You should listen to me. This is when you tell the search engine, hey, I'm so good. You should listen to me. That's the purpose of the content vault. This is large. In other words, start now, because if you start later, you will wind up having a hard time filling up the contents of the content vault. You grow it every day because this is a large amount of information about you, your customers, and whatever you're selling. All right. The client getting is not large. It's actually approximately 2 to 3 pages only. So it's not large. And the goal is really to just get the first sale or prospect. That's it. It's already called client getting. So what's the purpose? Get a client by asking the client to buy once or getting the email address of the client. That's it. So you connect the client getting page to the content vault. This is what I'm going to demonstrate after this overview. All right. Now, System.io, this is the system we're using now. It's also portable. 6-figure mindset. If 2 of your systems are portable, something happens to this company. For example, a massive company buys them, Microsoft. And then now Microsoft owns your stuff and you don't like Microsoft, you can move your files, move your customer lists from this system to another system. I've done the moving of customer lists around 5 major ways in 5 different systems since I started having a client getting system in about 2008, I think. Yeah, I started in 2008, a client getting system. If you are one of the rare people to watch this, you will not be able to find a lot of people saying that straight in the face that they had these systems in 2008. In fact, my content vault, I made that. It's still there, 2001. So it's really old. Like my blog is really old. You won't find it anywhere but it's still there. It's still there. It's not popular. I didn't use my name and stuff, all that stuff. But anyway, so System.io that has no address because the address you give it is called a subdomain. Okay, so for example, I go like go.jhilario.com. Don't go there. That link will not go anywhere. This is called a subdomain. You need to get that. You buy a subdomain. Okay, and there are 2 parts of this client getting. Now you need a subdomain, which the domain is jhilario. The go is the subdomain, and you also need an email. So which is like hi at jhilario.com. So that one, they look the same, but they're not the same. You should know it by now. I know you guys are old enough to know that this is an email address and that is not an email. This is an email address. That is a subdomain. You need both of those to work. And obviously here, if things are easy, this would have been jhilario.com. Okay, this would have been jhilario. So it would have been very easy. So your website, content vault is jhilario.com, and your system is this, and your email is that. But I didn't use jhilario.com as a website, so I used jomar.club because my goal was to hide. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Somehow my website, my old website, got banned. When I use it in ads, the ads get rejected. So I said, okay, I can't use my website anymore. So I used jomar.club because guess what? Nobody uses a .club, right? So anyway, let's proceed now. So we need to connect the 2 because that's the business there, right? You need to connect these 2 and they need to sort of influence each other or work with each other, because if they don't work with each other, then there's no point, right? So that's how it works. Okay, so just to emphasize the difference between the 2, I'm going to put in a lot of, here. So this is a lot of pages there. There's a massive amount of work that you need to create. And with the age of AI, you can now make this using AI, right? You don't have to complain that I don't know how to write or I don't have the time to write and all that stuff, because you can just get an assistant or just at least yourself use the AI. So through time, you'll grow this content vault because of the concept called authority. Write it down. If you have none of this content vault, you have no authority. In fact, even if you have a book, you don't have an authority because you still need to bolster, increase content that is visible to two things. What are the two things that the content vault need to impress? Do you remember? Or the two things that the content vault need to inform or impress, whichever. The first one is search engines. Jomar, you're repeating yourself. It's okay. Engines. Repetition is the mother of learning, according to my best friend and a confidant, Thomas Aquinas. So you need AI engines, and these guys are the one that read your content vault, these guys. Okay. Agree with me that you need the help of search engines and AI engines on top of social. Yeah. Because people are no longer going to Google. Did you notice that? You are no longer going to Google, you're going to the AI. Okay. To search for something, to get information. So still, you don't go to the social media to get information. You get something else out of social media. So yeah. So we're not talking about social media at this point, just the content vault and connecting the two. All right. So this is the overview. You guys okay? We can continue? All right. Notice the green is alone because this is 1 or 2 pages, 2 to 3 pages only, okay? So the pages of the green, I might as well show it to you guys because you're in diagram mode anyway. So the first page is called, the first page is email catcher. Normally, it's an email catcher. And the second page is called thank you for subscribing. That's the second page. And the third page is what everybody has because you have no choice. Policy or terms, privacy policy page. So unexciting to be here. But the money comes from the working of these two together, right? So this is the simplest you can see, you can find for these two systems and why you must have both. Okay, you in accounting, you have payroll, and then you have AR, then you have AP and all that stuff, right? In accounting. But I also studied accounting because I have a corporation. If you're in a corporation, you don't know any accounting, you're dead. All right. You can also hire an accountant to do that. Yeah, but if your accountant is not good, then you're also dead. So yeah, you cannot just hire an accountant to do stuff for you. You cannot hire a good accountant or a good bookkeeper. You must be as smart as they are or smarter. All right. So that's the lesson. And because I run a corp, no, that's the lesson you're going to learn from me. Okay, let's now do this. Okay, we're now going to take a client getting website and put it inside the content vaults. Now, this section is where you connect this client getting page, essentially the email catcher. How do you put this inside a WordPress website? And we're covering this because nobody on the internet has done this properly. Okay. You must say, oh, this guy has done it, yeah, whatever. No, I've seen them. They're no good. They don't know how to explain how it's done. And it's like, so here it is. So first thing is you need an email catcher that we already made last time. If you missed that video, then please go check out how we made the email catcher here in System E and how we made the thank you page. We also did that. We didn't do the policy page because this is just text, but we did the email catcher. So we're going to go to that email catcher and then put that in the website. Now the website is this one here, this pretty website. I call it pretty because I just made it. It's brand new. When I say brand new, the design is brand new, but it's not a new website. It's been around for a long time, a few years. There's no archive, but it has 20 pages. And since it has 20 pages and around 20, I don't know, this is way too many, 400 articles. Okay, so that's a lot, not finished. And when I started this website, I was just playing with it. It wasn't the core thing of what I was doing because it was like my third website already. So this is my website. Don't know if you notice. I'll have to show you the website in a different way. Wait lang ha. Where is that? This is not what you're going to see when you look at my website. This is what you see when you're me. Okay, but I need to show you what it looks like when it's you and then not me because it looks different. Okay, wait. So this WordPress website, I pay for it like every year. There it is. Okay, let me get out of the way a bit and show you the website. So that's the website. I hope you notice certain things are happening. But what is that? A pop-up appeared, yeah? And the pop-up is there is a earn 40,000 a month from home, no product, no team, free guide inside. This is called an email catcher. We're not gonna do this. We can, but we're not gonna do this. We're gonna do something else. Okay, so this is an email catcher. It appears on your website when people are using it. Not immediately, as you notice. Let me just do it again, show you the website. It doesn't appear immediately. I'm going to reload it. Pop-up is not appearing, still not there, still not there. There's no pop-up yet. Notice there are some pop-ups there, but you don't notice it. There is a widget. It's not a pop-up. There's a widget up here selling my course. Okay, and there's a pop-up that goes up on this corner here. That's called a proof. And somebody purchased something from me. See, that's it. That's really not gonna bug you as much. Only it's gonna tell you that somebody bought from New York my 3 nights to X client getting launched by. See, that's gone. So that one you have to pay for. You cannot do that willy-nilly. We have to pay for that. That's a service that I pay for. That's not gonna be the pop-up we're gonna make. Notice the pop-up is gone because we haven't done anything yet. So I know some people say, oh, pop-ups are very annoying. That's true. That's why, as you notice, the pop-up is still not appearing because we haven't done anything on the website yet. But I hope you notice there's something up here. What is that? It's called a bar. And that is also an invitation for you to subscribe to my newsletter. So let me just show you what the bar says. It says, get free affiliate marketing ebook. The color and the shaky of the yes, that is not an accident. That is on purpose, all right? So it's trying to get your attention, and look at the color, it's so nice. It just pops, it really just pops up from the normal brand bar here. So when somebody clicks on that, let me just take a look at that. Click. The website changes into this one, which is, again, looks like a pop-up, but it's not. It's no longer a pop-up. It filled the entire page. It's now inviting you to earn 100K, 40,000 a month. This thing is called the email catcher, number one. So this is a full page email catcher. Let me take a look. Let you take a look at it. Because if you have a company, you must have one of these, and a full page email catcher. See? That's one kind of email catcher. So I'm promising an ebook here, the 80-page version of my book, which is this one here, The Second Incomes. 80 pages of this. This is around 200 pages. Yeah, there. So you're going to get the 80 pages if you go to this one. Now, let me go back and load the website again. There. And pop up. How about, do you see on top, do you see the slider thingy? It's called the top bar. You see it? There's no top bar. Okay. So top bar is one place where you put the email catcher. You also put it, I'm going to go to the bottom. Okay. There. Now, behind me, that's an email catcher as well, but it has a different invitation. So it's saying something else, inviting you to subscribe, but it's just there. It's at the very bottom of the page. Normally people put footers. I put an email invitation. Now, you saw the 3 kinds of email catchers here. This one, the full page, and the pop-up. And the full page only appears when you click on the top bar, which is not going to show all the time because that's by design. I didn't want the top bar to keep bugging you all the time. All right. So those are the 3 places you can put a Systeme. Those are all Systeme email catchers. Let's go into Systeme and let's see what that looks like, how to put it in. Okay. So now this is not the view you have when you're looking at my website. This is the view I have because I am inside my website. Okay. So let me just show you. I'm inside here. Go to the dashboard. All right. So that I'm inside the website. And this is not step 1. Let me go to the step 1 first. Okay. Step 1 is to figure out where is our funnel. They call it funnel. So let's find sales funnel. There it is. Sales funnel. It's not a sales funnel. It's really just asking for an email address. There's no sale yet. So the sale that we're going to use is this one, first home buyer, the one we created last time. So obviously it's not going to fit my website. My website is for me, but for practice purposes, we're going to use the first home buyer, which we used last time. Let's go inside and take a look at what that looks like, the email catcher. And I'm going to click on the view funnel. All right. And click there. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you say something? Sorry, I didn't see the chat room. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is the thing we did last time. Couples, align, budget. What does that look like? The margin is wrong, but it doesn't matter. Don't worry about the margin. Actual size, there it is. So this is the couples align budget, choose your first home together. It's an ebook, $4.99. There's a taglish invitation about the ebook. There's an ebook cover. Essentially, we're selling something here. So the pop-up or the email catcher is not going to ask for an email. We're going to ask them to buy something. Is that okay? So this digital product is going to be appearing in our website, in the website that I showed you earlier. Okay. So there are 2 kinds of things they can buy. They can buy the home buyers consulting 5,000 or the $4.99 first home buyer ebook. Okay. And this is assuming this is pictures of the clients and stuff. All right. So this will be our page. Okay. By the way, this works. So if you attempt to try to buy the $4.99, it will deliver the ebook to you. Okay. So this is click on get advice. Now it's really going to work. Okay. So this is a working thing. You have to fill in the blanks, of course. So that's the sales funnel for selling the ebook. Let me show you the thank you page. And did we change the thank you page? We did not. No kidding. So let's do that now. Oh no, we don't have to do the thank you page right now. Let's do this now. Now, the first step in making email catchers, or at least the selling message for this item, okay, is to determine where you want it to go. All right, let me just, no, it doesn't matter. I'll just do it now. Why are we here? Okay. So we're now in sales funnels. All right, here. When you click on view funnel, it gives you a full screen page. So type it in your chat room or in your notebook, full screen, option 1. Okay. So that's the first option. Now, because they are going to be inside my another website, we are not going to pick a full screen. This is the full screen version. We're not going to pick this because that's going to be bad. Because they're already inside my website, why should we change the website design? So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to create a second version of this of a different style. So let me go there. And here, I'm going to click on add step. Oh, sorry. The add step is there at the corner. I'm going to click on add step. And then we're going to say step type. Here, we're going to look for something that says, there it is. So the two options are to create a inline form or a pop-up form. Oh, okay, so what do you want, a pop-up or an inline? Let's try inline first, inline. Jomar, which one is the inline? In my website, that's the one in the bottom of the page. So if you remember, here in my website, if you go to the very bottom, there is like an innocent looking box there, inviting people to, there it is. That's an inline form. You can put it anywhere in your articles. That's an inline. It doesn't pop up. It doesn't bug you. It's just there, sitting there. Okay. So here, we're going to make an inline. Sorry, you cannot see this. Create funnel step, look for inline form. And let's try first home buyer and inline. I'm going to name it properly lang. There. And I'll choose a template, of course. Okay, now I don't have the template yet. So this is the kinds of templates for inline forms. I'll pick one that I can use. Since I'm selling an ebook, I need to pick one that allows me to show the cover of the ebook. Yeah, because well, if you see the cover, maybe you will buy it. So which one will allow me to show the cover? This one actually, but I don't like that. I'll try this one would work there. So this is called AFHB inline, and then I'm going to edit it. Okay, there. So would you replace this emoji with a picture of the book? Yeah, because that's what we're selling. There. So there. It's very big, so we go there to this section on the left here and change the size just enough so that they can see it. Okay, it's a pop-up. Oh no, it's not a pop-up, but anyway. Now I am gonna wait lang. Now everything needs to be changed versus what we're trying to say. Now, because we have already created the other one, let me save this. I need to get the text from the original one. So let me just open a system again and then to that same thing, but I need to check out the first home buyer. So I don't have to copy paste. So I don't have to type anything in or use, think about stuff. So you need to just copy the text that you already made for this one. Okay. Where's that? There. So, sorry. Here. Okay. Color is white. Okay. And then I'm going to copy, that's not it, the invitation here, down here, and the benefits list. I'm going to copy that and put that here. This is extremely long, so I'll just take the, yeah, there. Get rid of this. Can you see what I'm doing? There. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So this is just an invitation in your brain. You have to say invitation. The color I'm using should be the same color as the original. What is the color that is prominent here? Settings. What color did we use here? Color of links. These two, right? These two. So can I use this color? Let me see. I like this color, but that's not the brand. So assuming it's a real brand, so maybe I can use a different color. Background image? No, background color. There you go. And image, used an image. Okay, so I can't use that. I got to get rid of the image. Background image, delete image. There. So that's the same color as this one here. This as the book. So it looks better. So that's the same color as the shirt of the girl. See that? The shirt of the girl. So I'm just making it consistent. Now, this is a big inline form. Don't worry about it because I didn't do enough graphics to make this book like this. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You can change the size. But just for the demonstration purposes, you should be able to do something like that. Okay, now that's an inline form. Oh yeah, one of the things about inline forms is don't use this massive color that I just did. Ask me why. Because it's jarring. You know what jarring means? It's shocking. And people normally say, "What's that?" And then they ignore it, which is so bad, right? What you need to do is just border it lightly and then use that color. Let me change the color. Yeah, though I did it, don't do it. I'm gonna put some shadow because I like to. Don't do really the color. I can't express myself properly. Just don't do it this way, please. Believe me, if you change the color of your background into something shocking like what I just did, nobody's going to read your invitation. All right? If you want them to read your invitation, you must kind of sort of match white. You see the white background? Match that. If your website has a sort of pink background like this one or white, make sure it matches. Gets? So it doesn't really stand out as much. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna quit this. All right. Okay. So that's the invite. This is okay. There it is. Don't worry about the size. It's going to change when you put it in WordPress. So I'm almost done. I click on yes, please. Okay, just yes, please. And this thing has this is in Systeme. So what does that mean? When the person enters name and email, okay, Systeme will take it. They'll take that name and email. That's how it works. Okay. So it's not just a, okay, I'm gonna ignore it. It's gonna take that. Okay. When I say take, it's going to take the email, put it in its database, and now you can send emails to it. Okay. So this is literally email catcher. Let me check if I need to do anything else. In yes, please, I can change the yes, please. Can you see that? Yes, please. It's behind me. I can change that. Please, yes, please guide us. Guide us. There. So instead of yes, please guide us. Because it's guiding people to select their first home together. What else do I need to do? Yeah, when the form, I will. So this is called automation. So when the button is submitted, it will submit the form and put it into the database. And what you want them to do is go to the next step. What is the next step after they give the email address? Okay, I'll exit this, save it, and show you what the next step is. This is what we did. There is no next step. See that? Do you notice there was no next step? So what are you going to do when they give you the email address? Now, smart marketers will try not to sell immediately. Smart marketers will not sell immediately. They know that people, some of them buy immediately. A lot of them, what they do when it comes to buying and selling. A lot of us, we don't really buy immediately when we see something. Unless the price is like ultra cheap. Oh, computer, 200 pesos. Okay. If you're a smart marketer and you're not a salesperson, fine. You expect certain things. What are those things? And courtship, right? You have to, and most of the time, marketing is all about courtship. You cannot expect immediate sale. Okay, so that's not part of your expectation. It's great if there's immediate sale, but if there's no immediate sale, at least expect courtship. Serve first. You're gonna have to serve them first. A little bit of courtship. The higher the price you're selling, the more courtship you need, the more service you need to give, right? Like what you're seeing right now, I'm giving full length training for free on YouTube, and I'm not selling. Okay, so that's serve first. So does it mean I'm going to sell something expensive later? No, not really. I'm just serving at this point. Okay, so since that's the case, you're not going to expect them to buy immediately. So if you're not going to expect them, some will buy immediately, some will not. So there's one missing element for this to happen. How do you serve them first if you don't know who they are? How do you serve them first if you don't know who they are? They visit your website, they visit your client getting website, and then they say, I'm going to buy later. How do you know who they are? Serve them later, right? For you to serve them later, you can't just say, oh, you didn't buy, bye-bye. No, you need to get their details. So this is why when we go to this thing, we ask for the email address. If you forgot, this is what it looks like. It's an inline form. So where's that? I pressed the wrong button. Okay, sorry. There it is. Okay. So if you notice, we did something like it will appear. There, it looks like that. So this inline form is not asking them to buy. You notice that? I thought we're gonna sell something, yeah. But before you sell something, you ask for email address. And if you notice, I didn't make the color shocking. So the background is white. So the color is just like, okay, it's cool. It's just there. Okay, so that inline form, after they enter their email address in the inline form, just here, yeah, above my head, they need to go to the next step, which is the order form. So to make that happen, we need to move things around. And so this one needs to go higher there. See that? My magic? Did you see that? The magic? We were here, and now we put the inline form up over there. So now when people see the inline form, when they give the email address, they will now see the order form, which looks like, what does that look like again? Let's take a look at what the order form looks like by clicking on View Funnel Step above my head here, okay? View Funnel Step. This is what it looks like. Get it? So they're going to move from email address and they're going to see this. Now they have the option to buy or not. Question, if they don't buy, do I have their email address? Yes. Can the system email them follow-up sequence that's I automated. I showed how to do the automated sequences in the earlier training. If you missed that, make sure you go to the website where we show you that. Okay. So there's a series of emails you can send to them, spread out over 6 days, 7 days, wherein you get to convince them, hey, this ebook is really good. Hey, this thing is very good. So these are meant to emotionally show them, hey, it's a really good decision that you considered buying. You should take a look. Now, this series is both storytelling and convincing them to buy. This is the one doing the selling. The marketer just prepares it, right? You're not the one doing the selling here. You are the marketer who prepares it. Who's the salesperson? The email. All right. Okay. Now, notice this every day you're sending out the email sequence. The only thing that makes the email sequence work is what? How can the email sequence work? What is the only needed thing? Email address. That's why we asked for it. All right. Now, let me go back to, okay, we're done there. That's the order form. That's the demo, what it looks like, what we just made, the inline form. I'm going to go back to work here. I'm going to go back to the sites and go to the sales panels, okay? And go back here and notice online form, I'm there, I'm selected that. And I'm now going to edit the page above my head, edit the page. I'm going to show you what's next. The button is the one that will allow them to exit this email catcher. So the button, when I press it, the one on the right, the one that side changes. So you need to see this carefully. When the button is clicked, you submit the form to System N. But after that, what do you want to redirect users after contact registration? You just make sure this is set to the next step. All right. And the next step is, yeah, I'm repeating myself. First home buyer. This is the one we did. First home buyer is the next step. All right. Now I've finished explaining that. Let's put it in WordPress inline form. I selected it. The selection is not very obvious. If you guys notice, this is selected, the FHB on inline, and the first home is not. I'm going to select the first home. Did you notice the selection bar? I'm going to select the FHB inline. It's not very, because it was my friends, the Gen Z, who designed this. No? They don't really want you to see the selection because it's not very artful. So sorry there. Even if I made this thing dark, you don't really notice which one is selected. So for some people who are hard, you can't really see very clearly. It's kind of a difficult thing, but anyway, that's going to be the trend for many websites. Very sad. Now, look at this wordings called scripts. It only appears if you select an inline form. You click on the order form, it doesn't have script. Inline form, script. So I'm going to click on script, and it has these weird things there. And I'm going to click on copy to clipboard. All right. Now, going to my WordPress, I'm going to find a place to put it. All right. So for simplicity's sake, I'm going to open the website and I'm going to put it in all the pages. Okay, where do I put it? So there is a option for edit site above here. Do you see that? Edit site beside my name. So I'm going to click on that one because I want that inline form to appear everywhere. So I'm going to click on edit site. It's not yet finished loading. Have you tasted the hopia of Taguig City? Hopia. If you have not, you're missing out. It's called Tipas Hopia. And I only recently discovered it last week. I was in massage and they were eating hopia. They said, what's that? And I asked for one, right? And they gave me for free. I think it's 10 pesos per, but they didn't ask me to pay. I ate it so good. Pastillas or something. Ube leche hopia. It's so good. If you haven't tasted the Tipas Taguig Hopia, it's like it's probably the buko pie of the gig. Only it's not very well known. Okay. Engbiten is fine. I've eaten engbiten for the last 30 years. It's okay. But this one, they're locally made and they're super cheap. Plus, honor your own country. Yeah, they distribute it all over the country. The Tipas, there's a Tipas bakery in Taguig who distributes it. Super. Okay. So yeah, Engbiten is fine. I've tasted it many times, but I'm tired of that because the Tipas one has tons of flavor. All right. So I'm gonna scroll down here. This is still my website, and it's not, it's not. I'm viewing it as the person who owns it, so I can edit it. So there's a section here that's kind of blank down here. See that? Blanky blank. I'm gonna check if I can put it there. Okay. So what I need to do is, all right, I can't remember what to do. Okay, a plus. There's a plus above my head. Do you see that? Plus. Okay. What is the, yeah, warning, I am not an expert in WordPress. I'm just really good at it. All right. I'm just really good at, hey, I wonder how to do this, and let's do that. Okay. But I've been using WordPress for more than decades. Okay. More than a decade. So totally not a newbie, but sometimes I forget. So this is a plain old WordPress without any, they call it with theme builder, website builder. For many, many years, half a decade, I use WordPress without using WordPress because I use a website builder, which I pay for every quarter. But for today's demo, I just use plain old WordPress. So this is called Gutenberg. Okay. So I press on that plus and look for a code. That's not code, HTML. I just type in HTML here because it's easier. HTML. And there it is, custom HTML. I click on custom HTML. And there's going to be there a custom HTML. It appears here at the bottom. I'm going to have to remove myself there. And now I'm going to, it says write HTML. So instead of writing, obviously, I'm just going to paste. From the one here, I took the script. Remember this one? And I copied that, right? I copy it again, just for fun. So I copied it again, yeah? What have I done to myself? Too small. Okay. And go here. Okay. And paste it here in the section. Paste there and preview it. It should load. If it doesn't load, don't worry about it. Now there it is. It's there. I'm not finished. I'm gonna drag this. Now, if you take a look at these 6 dots there, the 6 dots, that's the drag button or drag whatever widget. You just drag that. Anytime you see that in WordPress, you just use it to go up and down or bring it everywhere you want. So just drag it there. Believe me, this section I'm teaching you, there's almost nobody who's done this in Facebook. I don't know why. I mean, in YouTube, they don't really do this. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm gonna keep dragging this because that's not my destination. Okay, keep dragging. So Jomar, you're gonna slowly drag it. Yes, I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to quickly do this. Okay. Plus, my website is really big, so drag. I can put the end here, but I don't want to. I want to put it up there, so it doesn't work. I don't want to drag. There it is. Where'd it go? There it is. It's up there. Okay, I'm not finished. That's not where I want it to go. I want it to go up here under the date. There it is. See that? It's now under the title. I don't know what will happen. Let's take a look at it. Let's do a save above my head over there. Save. It's time for salvation. Yeah. Now, since we're here, I might as well show you what the WordPress part's here. This is the button to press for what it looks like on the computer. When you press that, you can also have the option to take a look at it when it looks like on tablet and mobile. Okay. As a rule, we only check for tablet for desktop first, and then you check out mobile later. Okay. And I'm going to press that. Instead, I'm going to press view sites. So click on that one so I can see what it looks like. Exciting. So this is the website. Looks like nothing changed except it's there. All right. So that's an inline form. Okay. Obviously, I'll remove it because the topic is incorrect. No, it's not about this, but this is a demo of how to put an inline form. You can put inline forms everywhere. All right. Now, since I put it there, can I put it someplace else? Let me show you. This is kind of more advanced. I go back to edit site. Again, warning, this is kind of advanced, but it's the same thing. I'm just going to put it somewhere in the website. So here, it's not yet finished loading. While that's happening, I'm going to show you something which I am very proud of. I was able to make my website go extremely fast. And if you don't have a website, you don't know how hard that is to make your website go really fast. Because there's so many conditions and so many technology things you have to do just to make sure my website is so slow. Most people's websites are very slow. Even your old gurus, their websites are really, really slow. How do I know? I checked. Okay. So what I did was, after so many years of trying to, what can I make this fast? I found it. I found the solution. And sometimes it's not just because you bought a fast service, fast server. That's not, I thought that was the solution, but apparently there are tips and tricks you can do to make sure that your website will go faster than normal. So let me show you what this website that you're looking at, the speed rating. Now, yes, nobody cares, Jomar, I know, but if you run a website and your speed rating is like this is actually much better. It's 97 right now. It's not 91. So I'm like 100% on SEO, 100% on, I can't read it, on best practices, 100% on accessibility, and 91 in performance. It's already 97. Okay. And before I did this, my website was 61 on performance. So why does it matter? Because believe it or not, the search engines and the human beings on the planet, you know what they like? Choose slow website, fast website. What do you think? Slow website or fast website? Oh yeah, we don't like slow website. We hate it. Like we hate slow websites. We always like fast websites. So, well, yeah, sorry, I can't teach you. This is so hard. Sorry. Making your website go fast, it's not like, okay, step 1, step 2. It's more like test this. Wait 1 day, test this. Wait another day, test this. Wait, that's how it works. And it's the workflow. You must have the right workflow for your website, because we're always dumping stuff. This thing has 400 articles in it, my website. So if your people running the website is not doing the right workflow, they're lazy, your website will soon become slow because people aren't following the best practices. And one of the bad best practices before was to make your website fast, get rid of all the images. Do you want a website with no images? Because that's one of the number one things that makes a website slow, images. But mine, I have images in every one of these. Okay, and they're not even cartoons, they're like all graphics. So that's not the solution. I'm never going to make a website that has no images, right? Because yes, it's ugly if there are no images. It's not appealing. So anyway, so that was just a sidetrack. Just so happy to discover that after so many years of trying to figure out how to make my website fast. Because I have friends who have really mean and lean website, but they hardly have any images. And they have like what? So the traffic is so big. So that makes a website really hard to make fast because there's a lot of people hitting it at the same time. My traffic is not as big as my friends or some of my students, but at least I now know what to do to make it go faster after so many experimentations. All right. By the way, if you want me to make your client website, I'm sorry, my client, the content vault, no, the rate is around 95,000 pesos for each client vault. Now, I'm not going to put stuff in it. I will put stuff that gives you an idea how to put stuff in it, but I'm going to create the back end. The back end is what you don't see. The stuff that makes it go fast, that makes it efficient. The fact that, you know, all of a sudden there's a bar appearing, you know, that stuff. And there's an inline form. You should already know how to do because I taught you, right? So, but I have a discount for the first two. By the time you hear this, I don't know if the discount will be live. So just make sure you reach out to me in the comment line, okay? And tell me if you're interested in getting me to create your client getting website. Okay, but if you want to do it yourself, it's also fine. Check out the links at the bottom for the WordPress suggestions that I have. Okay, only WordPress. Don't use any other thing if you're smart. Okay, let's make our final inline form, right? So I said this is advanced, so relax. So you go here. I'm gonna make, so I click on my face. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that? So you're now in the website, and then there's on the corner, very far corner, you can click on the logo. This corner here, you click on the logo. When you do that, you see that? That's the logo. That's my face. That's your logo. Click on it. Another page appears in the templates. And inside the templates, you can edit each kind of website. For example, I want the inline form to appear where I have my articles or blog. So I'm going to look for that. So there's a thing here called single post. This is the template for single post. In other words, when you read a single article, that's what appears here. So I'm going to change that. I clicked on it, sorry. I'm going to change that. So I'm going to put the inline form inside what? The article or the essay or the blog post. This is loading, so wait for it. So inside is the title, and there's a picture that's called the featured image. I'm going to scroll down, and I want to put the inline form at the end of each of my articles or essays or blog posts. That's what you call them. So I'm going to click on the plus again in the far corner. So for the first timers, that's the plus. So I click on that one, and what do we do again? We go to the search and type HT or HT something, and then custom HTML will appear. Click it there, and it's gonna go to the bottom of the page. There it is behind me. Oh, sorry. And now I'm gonna right click and paste. Hopefully still there. The script is still there, so I'm gonna click on the handle. Remember the handle there? The 6 dots. 6 dots. So I'm gonna drag that up there to the bottom. above the comment line. I'm gonna do it slowly because I don't know how. So I'm gonna drag that up there above the comments. There, still not finished. I want to go after the article. There it is. So after the article or the essay, I call it article or essay, you have that. Okay. So every time people, read my stuff, they are invited to do this. Now, if I own a real estate company and I have an article about a real estate idea, real estate news, I want the person reading to take a look at this so they will buy it. Yes? Yes? And that's how it looks like. So let's save it. And just for fun, I'm going to put my actual thing here. Wait, just wait. Okay. To save it and take a look at what it looks like. And it's not yet finished saving. Oh, Jomar, I thought your website is fast. Ooh, wait. There are two parts of the website. The part that faces your customers, clients, that's fast. The part that faces you, that is different. So you see this page is so much thing happening. It's called the admin page. That's normally slower than your actual website. All right. So just take note. Okay. When you're doing stuff like this, you're dealing directly with your single computer. When a person is looking at your website, he's not looking at a single computer. It's like coming from different servers all over the world. So that's a different story. It looks like it hung. It's still saving. So I'm gonna click on view site. I don't care. Okay. It's not loading. Okay, let's go to Q&A because it's not loading. But no, I'm not going to go to Q&A. I'm going to go back to sales funnel because I want to put an actual thing that I made for my website because that's a real estate inline form. I have to get rid of it. I don't want to use that, but I do have an inline for my book, right? So in my funnels, I have a book inline form here, free ebook inline. See that inside post? So I click that, right? So I now have an inline form. I did this when I was like a newbie, okay, in System A. So that's my inline form. Wow, that's not an inline form. That's a massive full page form. That's an opt-in page. Sorry, wrong. I got the wrong one. Let's see if that was, no, wrong, mislabeled. Where is my inline form? Here, sorry. And where is it? I cannot find the inline form. Maybe this one? I found it. That's not wrong. There it is. Toink inline form. Let's try to take a look at it. Yes. So this is the inline form for my book. Okay, that's the book. So it's all blue. So I'm going to edit it. So make sure I follow my own advice. Okay, get rid of the blue color and make that a white. Okay, and this also here at the bottom, make that a white, like pinky. No, white. White. So the text won't be visible. So I'm going to make the text black. And here, there's some text here. So I'm going to make that text black as well. So what you're seeing now is me working. This is what I do. I think free guide inside, free 80 page. I'm gonna edit it. 80 page guide inside. So this is change to subscribe now. By the way, I didn't use this, so I just made it, but I didn't use it. So that's why you're seeing it's real, it's actual. Yes, give me the guide. The guide. And there you go. Give me the free guide. I just repeated that it's a free 80 page guide inside. There, save it. Now I have a border. This thing has a border. Get rid of the border because it's weird. No border. The image has a border. No, I don't know why. So let's forget it. Okay, this one I cannot see this, so I have to change the border of this one here. I can't see the the color. There it is. Yeah, I'm gonna use something. Okay, because I can't see the blind masyado, so I'll have to. There it is, and then I'll now save that. Okay, and exit that. I don't know what happened to the website. Baka nag-crash. This is what it looks like before. Now it doesn't look like that. I'm going to get the descriptor, copy that, and going back to my website, and I'm going to go to single post, and I will remove this because it's not mine. That's just for fun. This is real. Preview that one, and this is the one that crashed. No, hindi nag-work. I'm gonna exit that, and go here, and go back to my face, and do it all over again. Hanapin ko yung single post here. This is just going to be a repeat of what I did. So the plus and then HTML. Where's the HTML? HT. Custom, drag it here, paste there, drag it down. I'm doing it faster because you've seen this done already, yes? And this is just a repeat. But this one is real, right? I'm going to leave this here, all right? So there. Hopefully change it saves now. I'm not gonna wait for it to save because if it's crashing, I can't do anything about it. It's just temporary. But that is how you put an inline form. All right. Now, that's this inline form. So what did we learn today? Okay. We learned that if you are a marketer, you don't really expect immediate sale all the time. Sometimes there is, sometimes they're not. You need to have the ability to do the courtship, especially if you're selling high ticket products, and to serve them. To serve them later, you need their email address, but you don't really assume that nobody will buy. So what we have is the sequence of events that you saw earlier, wherein you have an inline form, right? And in the inline form, what did we ask? It asked for what? Asked for email, right? And then after that, it goes to buy this ebook now. So it's not really you giving up on the fact that you may get a sale. It's you asking for an email because maybe he won't buy today, but you don't really know. So you just go ahead and ask for their email. Yeah. And then after they give you the email, then you ask them to buy. All right. So wait a minute. Okay, so let's check out that website if it's saved. Sorry if it doesn't say. It saved now. Thank you so much. Let's take a look at the site, what it looks like. And let's look at the inline form right now. There are two other kinds. I don't know. I'll just cover that in some other days. The pop-ups, which is what you make by default, and the one in the bar up there. Okay, it's taking its time to load. So I don't know. All right, what else? What? Oh, sorry. Let me go back here. Okay, so when people enter their email, they're now going to be offered to buy the ebook if they want to buy the ebook, depending on your price. If it's an impulse buy price, people will buy it immediately. Less than $20. It's usually an impulse buy. But if it's a higher price, then they probably will not buy immediately. Okay. So did it load? Let's see. Yeah, there it is. So I'm gonna have to pick an article first, an essay. So I picked this one here. So I need to wait for that to load. Okay. Because up here, you will be able to find the other one in the real estate. But I want to load a single article or an essay so you can see the inline at the bottom. All right. It's loading. Don't blame me. I'm still in the admin mode. So it's slow because up here, as you can see, I'm still in admin mode. So don't tell me my website is slow. It's only slow by admin side. Okay. If you buy the really nice priced WordPress, because the WordPress prices are from really cheap, which I totally avoid, to I used to buy the really cheap, then I just regret it. Right? So I don't really buy the really cheap, then really expensive. Their admins are also very fast. So that's why they're expensive. The corporation should use those ones. So anyway, here's the article on somebody deleted someone's LinkedIn. This is not me. And I made an article about that. And here you should see the what's that thing, but it's not yet there because the page has not yet finished loading. So wait for it to load. You'll see the inline there. Maybe, let me see. But maybe it's down here. No, it's not there. So it's gonna appear here. Pero a watch path is never hooked. All right. I'm finished. I just waiting for this to load. And Jomar, why is it low? Yeah, because I'm still in admin mode. Hello. All right, so don't worry about it. All right. Where are we? Yeah, there's two more. I'll do that some other time. Thank you so much for joining me. Some announcements. Yeah, September 4, 5, and 6. If you're watching this before 4, 5, and 6, make sure you join us for the 3 nights to an client getting Launchpad. That's my program to teach you how to make this. You see this email catcher? That's an inline form. Well, I want to teach you how to make one like it, but instead of making a single page, the inline really small, I want to teach you how to make a really big one. It's called the sales page. If you have any experience in online marketing, you know that every human being on the planet who sells anything online, they all need a sales page. Yes? What's that guy who sold a lot of Hormozy guy? Yeah, he sold a book the other day, and he wanted you to buy his book in his pre-launch. So he made a website for people to buy, right? And inside the website is all the stuff needed so that a website can sell. So you're going to learn how to do that. So an example, I am going to show you the website. Oh, my internet is slow. Anyway. So here is an example of the Hormozy book website. So I'm going to teach you how to make one of these. This is a single page that if you scroll down, will show you all the elements needed so that a person reading it will buy. That's the purpose of a page like this. The purpose is not to get Amazon reviews. The purpose is for you to buy. So you're gonna learn how to make one of these. So you might say it's really hard to make one of these, which is correct. Or you can also say it's really easy. Try. It's not really easy to make one of these unless I teach you, because this involves some art. So this is Canva, for example, or Photoshop. This also involves art. You see that book doesn't glow by itself, okay? And this is technology. That's why we use System A. Accepting money from the internet is what System A can do. And notice he has a color of button that I always use, orange. That is not an accident. Why is his button orange? Oh, that's because that's his brand. Why is my button for the last 20 years orange? That is not my brand. So there's a reason why we use orange buttons, okay? And there's a reason why this has so many testimonials. There's a reason. And the testimonials are just not, okay, there's a testimonial. No. There are highlights. Why? And wow, what? There is a frequently asked questions. And you might say, you can have a web designer do this. Yes, you can. But this guy, since he's very experienced in this, I know, he's doing the smallest thing you can ever do, which is, I'm not going to tell you now, you'll find out in the challenge and the launchpad, my workshop, what this guy is doing. Why is his website only 3 parts? Yeah, I'll do a breakdown of this. I'll do that tomorrow night. Is that okay? I'll do a breakdown. If I don't do this tomorrow night, I'll do it on Friday night. I'll do a breakdown of the Hormozy launch, not just website, the whole video. He has a like 7-hour video. I'll skip through it. I'll explain certain parts of how this guy is applying marketing wisdom. Now, I'm not going to tell you that the reason why he sold a lot of books is because he has a lot of followers. That's already something you know. Yes? Without a lot of followers, you cannot sell a lot of books. But he didn't leave it to chance. He did his homework, because this is what something I would do. Okay, if I was him. It's a 3-part website, which is normally unheard of. If you've seen my website, my sales page, for example, here, my website for selling my workshop is long, but I also do the same thing as he does, but I didn't make it like 3 parts alone. Okay, so here is the invitation. If you like reading this, you will watch the short video here. Okay, this is really like, I don't know, this is a short video introducing the whole thing. So because you're going to learn how to make a client getting website, right? So that's the short video. Then if you want an even shorter video, this is a 2-minute video with dolls explaining the concept. And then there are 2 interviews here and there, extremely short interviews of the people who've gone through the course. And I don't know, you cannot see it. I'll show it to you. And out on the corner here are pop-ups of actual reviews from the first batch. And that's going to stay there. Okay. But notice it wasn't there before. And I don't know if you noticed this white thing. This is a testimonial slider. Okay, there. That's automated. Those are actual testimonials of the first batch as well. So that appears there by itself, but this one is always there. Okay. I have a countdown. He has a countdown in his website as well. And then another section of when and where the workshop's gonna happen. It's the evening of September 4, 5, 6, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then who is it for? A list of the people who can benefit from it. And in short, it's going to be 3 nights to change your life and build a system that gets from 2 sources of income. And then what does it look like? So it's an image, my first picture. What does it look like? What you're going to build? Something like this. You're actually looking at it, but it's an example. This guy copied this guy. So this is the copy. You're going to build something like this, copying somebody else's work. Then you're also going to do it even though you have no marketing background nor technology background, as long as you know how to use Canva and Facebook on a computer. So the rules you have to learn know how to use a computer to make that work. Okay. So this workshop is, if you go to the website and it's still there, then go for it, sign up for it. If it's no longer available, it's probably just a recording, go for it at the same time. But if you act a lot, act fast, you can join us live, okay, in those 3 nights. But if already year 2030 and you're watching this video, then maybe you'll get the recording, okay? I'm just saying. So scrolling. So this is a longer interview of one of my students who attended. And notice it's very long, my website. And Hormozy used 3 pages. But we did the same thing, actually. It's just not all this. All right. So that's it. So we have pre-launch. When you join, you get a ton of mini activities to do every day before September as a pre-launch. And then we have night 1. It's in Zoom. Night 2 and night 3. More testimonials, fears, bonus 1, 4 more bonuses. And that's the prices. Okay. And look at that. It's my orange button and the deadline and some Gcash stuff and 4 guarantees. Okay. So and more testimonials. Okay. And more testimonials. I'm telling you the answer. What is Hormozy doing in his website? I just told it to you. Anyway, I'll see you on our meeting, maybe on Friday, on the breakdown of Alex Hormozy's site or launch, his 7-hour launch, and hope to teach you more from the outside looking in on somebody else's launch. So this is Jomar Hilario. Please make sure if you're watching this and you know someone who's interested, make sure you give them a link to the website. At the same time, there is also this QR code that you can check it out. Okay. And if you're watching this somewhere, it's forwarded to you, check out the comments for the link from that person giving this video to you. Thank you so much. This has been Jomar Hilario. I forgot to mention anything about what I really like. Okay, so let me just share you one last message from Saint Therese of Lisieux. I cannot think of any message. I can think of one from Saint Anthony of Padua. And this is personal. So when we got married, one of the first things I've ever bought for the house is a big statue of Saint Anthony of Padua carrying Jesus, and he is accompanied by a poor beggar boy. And ever since then, every time we prayed to Saint Anthony, which is usually for missing items and lost items, believe it or not, he has never let us down. So me reading about Saint Diary. I've finished reading the book on the life of Saint Francis of Assisi, and all of this time, I'm now reading the life story of John Marie Vianney. Very exciting times to live. They kill you if you're a Catholic. It's in France. So exciting time to be a Catholic. But all this time, it was just Saint Anthony there, always watching over us. So that's my final message for everyone listening. If you don't have a saint that you are actively involved in, you're requesting them, you're reading about their life, you're talking to them, they are alive. God is not the God of the dead, really. He's the God of the living, especially canonized saints. You're missing out on some extra powerful friendships that you could have for free. Just believe. All right, this is Jomar Hilario. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you subscribe. There's a website. I don't know where to direct you, but if you go to my website, jomar.club, you'll find the link to the Discord. There's a Discord channel. All the links to whatever I do is actually in the jomar.club website. So just go there. So that's my content vault, right? Go there, which is I've been showing you the website for such a long time. On top of the website, you'll see the links, and at the bottom of the website, you'll see the links as well. Just go and visit those, and yeah, you'll be able to see where to find anything, where to buy the book. This one, buy this book, right? So let me just show the website because I was able to open it anyway. So here's the website. At the top, you can find the link to the 3 nights workshop launchpad and a link to all those 6F mindset. This video you're watching is part of a massive playlist of systemic trainings and 6-figure mindset training. So click on the link here to see the archive. They're free. Okay. And if you took a course from me, there's a course log in there. And if you want to see everything in one place and talk to people, because when you're the blog, you can't talk to people, but you go to our Discord channel. That's where the people are. That's where the links to the courses are. The latest news is there. And even the 6F mindset is there. Links to the book is there. Affiliate resources are there. You can also join me in my LinkedIn, watch the podcast. I have podcast, and go to the YouTube channel from here. So all of this is found in my content vault. That's why I improved the content vault. And if you scroll down, it's also at the bottom. Okay. So it's been great having you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're watching this, please do a favor, subscribe to the channel. If this is in YouTube, subscribe to the podcast. If you're in Spotify, and do me a favor. And if you don't know me yet, please leave a message and say hi and tell me how did I do? How was my English? I struggled in making sure that this entire presentation will be in English so you can understand it, my dear non-Filipinos. Thank you so much. God bless.